Jay here for Stretford, Paddock, and as you can see, we're outside Old Trafford for another paper talk. And as you would expect, much of the paper talk this morning comes on the back of Manchester United's 3-0 win at Aston Villa, with goals from Mason Greenwood, of course, Paul Pogba, and the obligatory goal from Bruno Fernandes. Now, a lot of the talk this morning has been about Mason Greenwood. 18 years old, scoring with his left, scoring with his right, and his manager is absolutely loving it. Speaking after the game, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer more or less said that Mason Greenwood now is the first teamer and he can't be dropped because of the amount of goals he's scoring. Speaking after the game, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said, he's 18 and of course he will get better. He's a natural footballer and has been in the academy since he was a little boy. He knows we believe in him. You cannot leave players out when they score goals, and I think that's a sentiment that a lot of Manchester United fans will be saying, because you look at the form he's in, you look at the goals he's been scoring recently. He's just on fire, and you've just got to play him. He's scoring important goals as well. These are goals that Manchester United need. So he's playing his part in a team that's really successful at the minute. It's winning lots of games, moving forward, a lot of energy amongst the front three, and he's an integral part of that. So there's no surprises that his manager's come out and said that he can't be dropped. Now, another player that got on the score sheet last night was Paul Pogba. There was a stat going around that Paul Pogba hadn't scored for about 453 days or something stupid like that. People were calling it a goal drought. You can't really call it a goal drought if he's not played. It's not really his fault he's not played. So it's one of those daft little stats that gets put to bed. We've seen some stats recently that have been sort of ended. We've seen the one about United not scoring a hat-trick, or no one for United scoring a hat-trick in years. Anthony Martial put that one to bed. United not winning at home 5-0 for years. That got recently put to bed here, of course. So we've seen a lot of these sort of stats ended, and rightly so. And one stat that's ended is Paul Pogba not scoring. He got on the score sheet and he seemed really happy. One stat that has been doing the rounds, which isn't daft, is that Manchester United are the first Premier League team to win by 3 goals, in 4 consecutive games. Now, that stat's like a lot of stats, doesn't really mean a lot, but you know, it shows how well we're playing, and it's also a bit of an odd one considering we've had all these dominant Liverpool and Manchester City teams recently, and they've not been able to do that. So, you know, Go United! Well done us. We've got a great record there. We've won 4 consecutive goals by 3 or more, 4 consecutive games by 3 or more goals. Listen, it just shows how well we're playing. It's just one of those stats where you go, really? But we keep blowing teams away. We keep scoring goals. Then you can't help but be happy in that. And especially if we're keeping clean sheets like we did last night against Aston Villa. And a big part of that reason is David De Gea. Now, David De Gea, he broke a record last night. It just seems to be loads of records going at the minute. He became the second most capped, or the second most appearances by a goalkeeper for Manchester United, surpassing Peter Schmeichel's record. He's now behind only Alex Stepney in terms of the goalkeeper that's made the most appearances for Manchester United. Now, after the game, David De Gea was speaking and he was talking about it and what it meant, and he said, "Sorry, Schmeichel," with a bit of a smile on his face. Again, you know, he's making a little bit of a joke, the fact that he's broken Peter Schmeichel's appearance record. But the fact that he's happy, the fact that he's smiling, it just adds to the air around this club that everyone's sort of feeling really positive, and it's what you want to see. You want to see the team winning games, you want to see us scoring goals, and you want to see the players happy, and that's what we've got at the minute. He also said, "I think that means I've been here a long time and I've been playing really well at the top level, so I'm really proud. I'm happy to play for this club for that many games. Hopefully there is another 400 games coming, so I'm really, really happy." Now, David De Gea's had a little bit of criticism lately. His form hasn't been great. It's not been the sort of standards that we're used to. Now, some people, including myself, have said maybe it's time for Dean Henderson next season to be given a chance. But listen, if David De Gea can reach the heights or maintain the levels that he's set in the past, you know, this is a player that's won, 4 out of the last 6 Player of the Year awards, then Manchester United have got one of the best goalkeepers in the world. And you have to err on the side of caution with Dean Henderson, because a lot of people saying, like myself, yes, can we give Dean Henderson a chance? Is he ready? He's having a great season at Sheffield United. But we know what David De Gea can do. We've not yet seen what Dean Henderson can do in a Manchester United shirt. And it is a different kettle of fish when you come and play for Manchester United from playing at a club like Sheffield United, no disrespect to them. Harking back to many years ago, I remember when Van der Sar was sort of getting on a little bit, and people were saying, oh, maybe it's time for Ben Foster to come in. Ben Foster was a young up-and-coming goalkeeper. Everyone was raving about him. Van der Sar got injured and Ben Foster came in. And he had a bit of a nightmare. He played in that game when we beat Manchester City 4-3, if you remember, the Michael Owen winner. But he was at fault for some of the goals. I think he played a game later when it might have been Sunderland, where we drew 2-2, and again he was at fault. And it just didn't work out for him. And obviously Van der Sar came back in, and then we got De Gea in. And Ben Foster spoke about this, and he said it was just the sort of the pressure of playing for Manchester United, because Ben Foster went on to have a great Premier League career. He's at Watford now, still playing really well, but he just said at Manchester United it was a little bit different and he couldn't really handle it. So will that happen with Dean Henderson? I don't know. I think Dean Henderson has got what it takes to be a success at Manchester United, but David De Gea is only 29. He signed a new deal not long ago. He's on a lot of money as well, and we know he's got experience. He's played, 400 games for Manchester United. So if we can get David De Gea playing consistently as well as he can, there's no better keeper on the planet. Some of the best performances by a goalkeeper I've ever seen are by David De Gea. You look at the game he had at the Emirates a few years ago, it's phenomenal. You look at the game at Spurs around a year ago when they were playing at Wembley, it's probably the best goalkeeping performance I've seen in the Premier League. He was just stopping everything. Dele Alli and Harry Kane could have been there all day and they never would have scored against him. It was a phenomenal performance. So we know what David De Gea is capable of. He's still only relatively young in goalkeeping terms. So if he can stick around for, another 400 games for however long and reach the levels or maintain the levels he set, then I'll be very happy. We just need to see David De Gea get back to his best, because I don't think this season and the back end of last season was David De Gea's best performances. I think he became a little bit more inconsistent. There was a few more mistakes there. We all know that happened. I don't need to start listing them. But you got the feeling that, I don't know, it just seemed a little almost like nerves were settling in, which is weird because he's obviously played a lot of football for Manchester United. The fact that David De Gea has reached this milestone, it's great for him. It's great for Manchester United. And I think a player of his talents, a goalkeeper of his talents, deserves to be challenging for the top honours. We know he won the Premier League when he first came in his second season. We want to be challenging for that again, and I'm sure he wants to be challenging for that again. He knows that he must look at some of his peers and see them playing in the Champions League regularly, challenging for titles, and think that's what I want to do. And he could do it at Manchester United. You look at the team we've got now. I know we're not there yet, but I think with the right signings, the right sort of nurturing of the young talent we've got, if we can keep hold of Paul Pogba, then who knows how long a title challenge will be. Maybe next season is a little bit too soon. Who knows? But certainly the next couple of seasons, you'd expect to see this Manchester United team challenging for the very top. Now, when it comes to reaching the very top, one player we have been linked with that can hopefully take us there is Dortmund's Jadon Sancho. Now, this transfer story, transfer rumour, whatever you want to call it, has been rumbling on for some time. We know that, we hear that he's keen on a move. We hear that Manchester United are keen on a move. The sticking point seems to be the transfer fee. Dortmund holding out for what's believed to be in the region of around 100 million, even up some quoting it as 115 million. United saying, we're not going to pay that. Some reports saying that United are only willing to pay 50 million. I think that was sort of paper talk, though. Well, no, false paper talk, should we say. I think it's around the £80 million mark is more than likely to be what's the fee that causes Dortmund to part company with Jadon Sancho. Now, the sporting director from Dortmund, Michael Zorc, has said that should Jadon Sancho leave, we'll make additions in our attacking department. He's sort of hinting that they're already looking at options to replace Jadon Sancho. He said that in Kicker, a German publication. I don't know a lot about Kicker. I don't know how reputable they are, but it's a quote, so he said it. Now, the thing with Jadon Sancho is we know that United want him. We know what he could bring to this team, even with Mason Greenwood having the form he is. I think you need additions, you need options. We were talking yesterday on the Paper Talk about Jack Grealish and how he'd be a different option to Paul Pogba and Bruno Fernandes, and how you'd want to bring him in, not to replace them, but to sort of bolster that midfield. And it's the same with Jadon Sancho in the attack. If we can have another attacker, so we've got Mason Greenwood, we've got Anthony Martial, we've got Marcus Rashford, we've got all these players that are firing on all cylinders, and we've also got someone like Jadon Sancho. If you've got four players sort of fighting for three places, that's the sort of Manchester United way. We've always had options, and Jadon Sancho would be a fantastic attacking option. Now, the way that Dortmund is sort of wording it is that they're looking at replacements for him. Now, one of those replacements is reportedly meant to be Jude Bellingham. Now, Jude Bellingham was linked with Manchester United for a little while. We know that he went to Carrington, or the reports that he went to Carrington, reports that he even met Sir Alex Ferguson. United sort of pulling out all the stops to get Jude Bellingham, an absolutely phenomenal young talent who's been playing a lot of football. He's been playing more football than sort of any other 16-year-old has, playing in the Championship, playing for Birmingham. I spoke to Birmingham City fans not long ago, and they were absolutely raving about him. So Dortmund are looking at him, and it looks like Jude Bellingham prefers Dortmund to Manchester United, which is a bit of a shame, but it's not the end of the world, because, okay, yeah, he's a great young talent, but I think United can survive not getting Jude Bellingham. But we need players like Jadon Sancho. So if the Dortmund director is hinting that, look, it looks like Jadon Sancho's going to go and we're going to bring in someone else, and that someone else is going to be Jude Bellingham, I can live with that. I can live with Jude Bellingham going to Dortmund and us getting Jadon Sancho. But at the moment, it's just speculation. There's nothing concrete. We'll have to see how this pans out. It could rumble on for some time. We saw how long the Bruno Fernandes transfer saga rumbled on. Hopefully, we don't want it rumbling on that long when it goes through 2 transfer windows. But Manchester United, obviously, heavily interested in Jadon Sancho, and Dortmund resigned to losing him. I've been Jay here at Old Trafford. The rain is just starting to come down, as we always expect with the Manchester weather. Listen, we've had some great support here on Stretford Paddock since we had the relaunch. We had loads of people watching the watch-along last night. We were watching the Villa game. We've had loads of people getting involved in the comments, liking our videos, sharing our videos, hitting that subscribe button, and we appreciate it. So do keep watching Stretford Paddock. We've got loads more videos, loads more content coming on. I'll be out in the rain again for many more days. So will Joe. We'll have lots more videos coming up as well. I've been Jay. Thanks for watching.